This episode of EA Sports Game Changers is sponsored in part by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Next, M-E-S-S-I. Is he the best soccer player on the planet? Our own Kevin Frazier went to Barcelona for an exclusive one-on-one World Cup preview with megastar Lionel Messi. Then, call him Super Dad. We're with Deion Sanders, the superstar who dedicates each day to make his home the greatest place on earth. And in Hawaii, there is no fear here. Pure guts and breathtaking skills. We're side by side with Carissa Moore, the greatest female big wave surfer in the world, as she shreds Maui's North Shore. Then, you won't believe how football has changed these people's lives. We have the real stories. Hang on, because Game Changers starts now.
Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Frazier, and welcome to EA Sports Game Changers. Today, we're starting with a superstar.
Lionel Messi is arguably the greatest soccer player on the planet.
And as fans of Barcelona know, he scores goals in bunches. I went to Spain to see for myself and talk to the soccer superstar.
Barcelona, Spain. It's a city with a rich history of myths, legends, and heroes. Greek mythology will tell you this city was founded by the son of Zeus, the divine hero named Hercules. And in this city where soccer rules, there is a man that has the entire world's attention, and he plays right here.
Now, perhaps the most popular site in all of Barcelona is the stadium right behind me, Camp Nou, the home of FC Barcelona, but more importantly, the home for one of the greatest players on this entire planet.
Born in Argentina, Messi moved to Barcelona at the age of 13 to play in the world-renowned Barcelona FC Club Youth Academy. And by 17, he became the third youngest player ever to join the top club. Now, 10 years later, at the age of 27, Messi looks to lead his home country, Argentina, to its third ever World Cup victory. It was 1986 when Argentina beat West Germany 3-2 in the World Cup final, led by the living legend Diego Maradona. Now, 28 years later, Maradona himself has crowned Messi his successor. I sat down with Messi in a secret location just outside Barcelona.
You excited about the World Cup?
Sí, obvio. ¿Qué va a pasar? No lo sé. Esperemos que sea algo bueno para Argentina. Nosotros vamos con la ilusión, la gana de poder hacer lo mejor, de conseguir el objetivo, que obviamente es conseguir la Copa, y ojalá se nos dé, pero bueno, con tranquilidad.
What was it like going through La Masia?
Bueno, yo muchas veces lo dije, que la Masía fue parte de mi vida. Crecí con los chicos de ahí, pasaba mucho tiempo con mis compañeros porque iba a la escuela con gente de la Masía también, y fue una parte importante de mi vida.
We, for the first time, have an American who is at La Masia, Ben Letterman. How important is it that there is an American at Barcelona's academy?
Bueno, no sabía que había un americano, pero normal, ¿no? Creo que hay chicos de todos lados en la Masía, y creo que eso lo hace grande al club, ¿no? Tener tanta gente de tanto lugar, y creo que para el chico es un lugar espectacular donde tiene que disfrutar, y va a crecer mucho tanto en lo personal como lo deportivo.
We all know that Messi is arguably one of the best players in soccer, but I had to ask.
Who's better, the video game Messi or the real Messi?
El videojuego.
Coming up on Game Changers, the superstar Super Dad. Deion Sanders shows us why he's a candidate for Father of the Year. And it's Carissa's first time at Jaws, and Game Changers is right there with her for the ride of a lifetime. Then, what if NFL Films made a movie about you? It can happen, and all you need is a story.
This episode of EA Sports Game Changers is sponsored in part by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Welcome back to Game Changers. I'm Kevin Frazier. Now, for this next segment, we teamed up with our sponsor, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, to celebrate kids who give playing their all and love every minute of it. Now look, we all know Deion Sanders. He's one of my good friends, and he is one of the greatest athletes of our time. He played pro football and baseball in the same year, and he did it all with a smile as big as they come. But what you may not know is that one of the accomplishments that Deion is most proud of is raising his kids, who, by the way, share his passion for playing sports. From football to dance, ping pong to basketball, these kids show their stripes by playing just about everything. Check it out.
Welcome to the home where it's all about family and fun 24/7. Because this family has 8 kids under one roof. That's right, 8 kids who all love to play just as much as their all-pro dad.
My kids are so active. I mean, the halls around here are 8 feet wide, and it's for a purpose because it's a posse in here. There's 8 kids that live in here, and then we always have a couple kids staying overnight from our school.
It's fun having so many kids because, like, you never get bored, and it's never just you all alone. There's everybody, so you can, like, ask them to play and stuff.
So it's a wonderful atmosphere, but a lot of activity.
Basketball, check. Football, check.
Good job, B.
Bowling, ping pong, cheer, check, check, check.
B, you balling, baby.
You may recognize the man in the middle with the $1 million smile. Who can forget two-sport superstar Deion Sanders, whose one-of-a-kind style and mind-blowing talent made him one of the most standout athletes in history.
I drive a van, man. I drive a 9-passenger van, and I'm happy about it.
On a spectacular spring day in Dallas, Texas, Deion invited Game Changers to hang out at his home for the entire day. And trust me, there was no time for rest.
You gotta understand we're an athletic-based family. Well, let's just play knockout in basketball. Let's play ping pong. Oh, let's bowl. Who can do the best flips on the trampoline? It goes on and on and on.
Should we stop this, or should we keep going?
I think fun and family are synonymous with one another. It's hard to have family with no fun.
In this house, bowling is a daily activity with endless laughs and lots of love.
Bowling, yes, we do that mostly every day.
Well, the thing with kids, you want to have fun, but you don't want to belittle your opponent or mock your brother or your sister. You don't want to humiliate your opponent. It's a rule we have in the home. You don't have to be the best, but you got to give your best.
All the kids love to give their best around the ping pong table, and no matter what the sport or who's playing, this dad's focus is 100% in the room.
I'm not perfect, but I'm present all the time.
There we go. Mr. Sanders. Touchdown.
Yes, if your name is Sanders out here, then you have football in your blood. But the last thing this Pro Football Hall of Famer does is push his kids to follow in his footsteps on the field.
I'm not going out there saying, you got to be the best because your dad was Deion Sanders, he was prime time. No, that's not true. That's the course that God gave me. But the script that you're going to play out in your life could be whatever God says it's going to be, but you're going to give it your best. Give it your best.
Good throw, B.
And while each kid's sport of choice is part of what defines their individuality, they all share the Sanders passion for play. And you better believe his legendary touchdown dance made an impact on these girls.
We have a plethora of cheerleaders. The twins got a habit of looking at one another when they cheer. You know, they're like,
let's go, red and black, let's go.
And once a year on Father's Day, well, for these kids, it's not about giving dad a boring gift.
My dad's not he's not a fan of gifts and everything. We would bowl, we would play basketball.
Come back.
Play ping pong.
6-1.
But I don't think he wants to play me in ping pong anymore.
So you have to wonder, does Deion go easy on his kids on Father's Day? Not exactly. More like the other way around if you ask any of them.
I mean, I try to make him feel good on Father's Day. That would be his present, but he knows what's up.
So what is Deion Sanders' secret? Well, this superstar dad has a tip for all families.
Sports teach so much. Playing together with one another, the essence of teamwork, and it brings people together and unite as one.
You know, for a family who loves sports as much as the Sanders, that house is just about perfect, isn't it? And by the way, no matter what sport you love, remember that the most important thing is to give it your all and have a great time doing it. So here's what we want to know. How do you show your stripes? EA Sports Game Changers and Kellogg's Frosted Flakes want to find out.
Coming up, she's changed the game of surfing, and Carissa Moore is just getting started. The skills, the guts, and the dreams of the best big wave female surfer in the water. Then, football stories that have changed people's lives.
This episode of EA Sports Game Changers is sponsored in part by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
She has guts, confidence, and incredible skills. Carissa Moore may be the best female big wave surfer on the entire planet, and she's changing the game and the sport big time, one wave at a time.
She's as confident as they come. And here on Maui's North Shore, pictures speak louder than words. This is Carissa Moore on her first day ever at Hawaii's legendary Jaws, and it was epic.
Survived the Jaws wipeout. Go, go, go!
Her skills are breathtaking. And since bursting onto the scene at age 17, this 21-year-old's impact on the surfing world grows by the minute.
Can you describe your personal surfing style to me?
Well, I like to think that I have a lot of style and a lot of grace and a lot of power. I love good power surfing. You know, a lot of surfing that is beautiful and fluid and has a lot of speed. I try to combine all that, but it's hard to talk about my own surfing style, but that's what I hope it is.
Don't let the modesty fool you. She's already a two-time world champ while racking up an unprecedented 11 national titles along the way.
It just takes a lot of drive and a lot of passion to be at the top of the sport or just to be on tour. You gotta love being in the ocean every day and love hard work.
And while that hard work and passion has lifted Carissa to become the best women's surfer on the planet, it is also making a difference in how the fans see the sport.
It's really neat to see the gap between male and female surfing slowly closing. Sometimes it gets a little tricky when it comes to events with the guys and equality and whatnot, but I think, you know, eventually we'll get to the level of the men, and, you know, we're just taking it step by step, and I'm really thankful to be where we're at right now.
In the off-season on her native Oahu, Carissa is always working on her game, whether she's hitting the local break with her board or working out with her personal trainer, Lisa.
Excellent. Good job. Good job. Beautiful form.
I think there's been a wall holding me back from really performing at my high level because there's like maybe that fear of falling and fear of failing a little bit, you know? So I think I've been safe, and I really, really want to break down those walls and, you know, be able to perform and push myself.
Despite her busy schedule, Carissa also finds time to give back, working with a number of charities and sharing her love for surfing and the ocean with people of all ages.
I've never been that person to kind of talk about myself and how I give back. You know, I always think, you should give back even without the publicity. That's just something you should do. And I love giving back and being around little kids. It's just awesome. It's a great lifestyle to live. So if you can inspire little kids to get into it, it's great. And to see their smile on a wave, there's nothing better. I've been a part of a great program called Access Surf. When I'm home, I try to go out and teach people with disabilities how to surf. And it's a great program. I don't get to get out there enough.
All in all, it's a pretty crazy life for someone still barely out of her teens. But for surfing's reigning it girl, she wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm very excited and honored and blessed to be a part of women's surfing right now. It's so exciting. All the girls are surfing so well, and all of them know how to compete really well. Every girl that I compete with on tour is a beautiful person inside and out, and I think that the level of our surfing is just getting higher and higher.
They're real, inspiring, and true. Football stories that have changed people's lives.
This episode of EA Sports Game Changers is sponsored in part by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
This season, the NFL launched a program called Together We Make Football. They invited fans to send in their stories of how football has touched their lives. The response was amazing, and the stories incredible, as captured by the folks at NFL Films.
Hope is one of those communities where literally, we could not have had a better name for this town, and the people just rally around each other.
And the quarterback, number 3, Nate Carter.
I was real excited. I wasn't nervous. I was just ready to play again. I just woke up that morning and I coughed up blood and I called my dad. When we went to the doctor's office, he figured out my lungs were like nearly almost completely filled with blood.
And this had progressively been going on for 2 weeks, and to the point where his body was just basically just collapsing and dying on him. They just expressed to us that we needed to be prepared to pack our bags and leave without Nate. And I'm sorry. I just remember looking at him in total disbelief and just asking him, are you serious?
It was pretty emotional, man. It was the hardest day of my life.
Eventually what we found out was Wegener's granulomatosis. I'm sorry, it's a tongue twister sometimes. We just call it Wegener's. This was the first day that we got Nate outside. They have like a little courtyard area. When we look at this picture, I can just see how frail he was.
That whole day we kept saying we on our way back.
I had gone from 115 pounds to only 80 pounds. I love football because it was like a motivation for me, since people said I wasn't going to be able to play sports again.
For my child to be happy, healthy, and normal, he's got to be playing football. That's what he loves to do.
I'm now starting quarterback for our 8th grade team.
The first pass that Nate made, there was a set of parents that were back there saying, "Miracle, miracle," chanting it.
I jumped, I hollered, I shouted. I mean, it's just, man, it was just special.
Football has taught me that with God's help, you can do anything.
For more NFL content, visit NFLRush.com.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages. This episode of EA Sports Game Changers is sponsored in part by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Thanks for watching, and remember, no matter where you are, whether it's in your community or on the field, you too can be a game changer. See you next time.
This episode of EA Sports Game Changers is sponsored in part by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.